Are there disadvantages growing up in Africa? Yeah, sure. A lot of it. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to The Ugly Truth. Hi guys, my name is Wawo. Welcome or welcome back to The Ugly Truth. I am talking today about advantages and disadvantages growing up in Africa. There are a lot of advantages growing up in Africa. If I am having children now, babies now, I would prefer my kids grow up in Africa. I will make sure I provide the opportunities for them to grow up in Africa, because the relationship between families in Africa, we have our problems. Don't get me wrong, we have our problems. Some families can be envious, some can be jealous. That is natural, is nature. You know, I am a true crime freak. I watch true crimes a lot. The thing that disgusts me when I am watching these true crimes is when it comes to the court scene. That is why I don't watch the court scenes any longer. When it comes to the court scenes, you see, you hear a psychologist saying, it's the upbringing, you know? This person, the father used to beat him, you know? He had a terrible upbringing. That is why he is going around unaliving people. It's funny. That might be a joke, because if how someone grows up, explains what they do later in life, then there is no African existing in Africa. I'm telling you, because the way, except if someone tells me Africans are not humans. Are they? Sure, we are. But like they say, he had a terrible upbringing. Which upbringing can be terrible than growing up in Africa? Your parents has this hard love, tough love. They believe that if they scold you, is when you will come out to be somebody better in the future. And if you look at it, that might be true, even though I am not sure there are such treatments for children in Africa these days, because people are advancing thinking. The way they think now is different from those days. But that time, if actually upbringing can make somebody be the worst human in life, then maybe I am not alive. Maybe the elder one in the family might have just decided, because of the way I have been brought up, let me just unalive the rest of the family, you know. But the upbringing, this way they are taking it, that when somebody goes and unalive another human, tells that human you are not supposed to be on this earth, then they will excuse that action with his upbringing. Can you imagine? That is absolutely, I don't know. Maybe the environment, I don't know. But anybody who comes from Africa knows exactly what I am talking about. Not that your parents are flogging you or beating you every day, no. But any mistake you do, there is a repercussion for it, right? Any law you break does not go free, just a warning. Like my own dad was very lazy. He does not beat. He asks you to slap yourself. You will slap yourself until you cry bitterly, like somebody did it. Can you imagine? They tell you to slap yourself. Normally you can do it soft, right? But no, you will not do it soft, because if you do that soft and he sets the example, you might not like it. So you will start by impressing him. Why is that? Because we are trained to fear, to respect. Anybody who grows up in that type of situation is somebody whose self-confidence is gone, is somebody who is not ready for challenges. For example, when we leave that place is when you really know the repercussions of the way we grow up. It makes you so timid. It makes you so withdrawn that there are sometimes, I don't depend on any African here if something goes wrong, because you will ask most of Africans here, an African brother will stand here, they slap you. And if it goes to the extent that a police comes there and asks, he is going to say he did not see. Simply because he does not want that extension, that problem going there, explaining that because we are trained or brought up to accept whatever comes your way when we are growing up. You are trained to be hurt. And if you are brought up that way, that is not the type of person that will go on unaliving another person. No. Most of us can remember in some homes there were no beating. They will just say, there is no food for you today. Or come and pump. We remember that very well. You hold your ears, you cross your hands, pump up and down, up and down, up and down. They will even forget about you there, pumping, and you will not stop because you are scared. You are told to obey. You are brought up to obey. You were born to obey. This is what a terrible upbringing? No, it's not a terrible upbringing. If it is a terrible upbringing, then taking other people's lives should be free of charge in Africa. Because that will be the excuse. I had a terrible upbringing. Sometimes it will even take 1 week I don't eat at all. There was no food, which is not possible. Some people say, since this morning I have not eaten anything, because the African believes on one main diet. That main diet is our staple food. If it is rice eating country, that person will eat cassava, they will eat gari, they will eat fufu, they will eat bread, eat all of those things the same day, and in the evening they will tell you, since this morning I have not eaten except that small bread, that small cassava, and that small fufu, simply because they have not eaten rice. That is that is when somebody grows up tough, with tough love. You have no time to do what people like. Sometimes people unalive their 5 children their wife, and themselves. Sometimes some do even worse than that. I don't want to really go that far, because it's YouTube. I Certain things must not be very, very explained. But the things people do, and at the end they sit there giving excuses. That is why I am being very careful here. I am really being very, very careful, because if I hear all these excuses, that person had what terrible upbringing is here. If your parents control you too much and you don't like it, they leave their parents home. Their government gives them place. We don't have them there. We don't have that there. So there is no way you are going to leave home. You leave home to where? Where are you going to go to? Who is going to accept you? So the best you can do is obey and comply, right? After that, when you are not even encouraged to speak when your parents are talking, it is yes sir, yes ma. Will that person grow up really to be evil? I'm not sure. If there is anything that person is a timid person. That is why sometimes people think we can be treated anyway. No. Because too much of one thing might be good for nothing. They will say an African is loud because when we swallow, if it reaches some peak, that is when we explode. But even that explode might not be any evil explode, So when I hear there is no upbringing here. What? Anyway, guys, if you have any idea, really, why people behave the way they behave, put it in the comments. Because I am sure, I am 100%, because the person they are giving this excuse for is not the only child in the family. If it is really his upbringing or her upbringing that made him behave that way, why are the siblings not doing the same thing? That is why there was a video I made a comment like that. The relationship between parents should slowly be changing in Africa. There are some times I sit and reflect and I become angry. Yes. There are certain things I reflect on, I am angry. But that anger does not make me think of doing bad things. God forbid. No. It angers me that the person who actually tried to put me the right way is no longer there to see how far I have come. And parents out there, I am a parent myself. The relationship between you and your child reflects a lot between you two tomorrow, especially the girl child, because in my country, I don't know, I am 100% sure that in other countries also it's almost the same. You will find in most houses that the mother of the wife mostly resides with the couple than the the mom of the dad. You know, I don't know why that is. Does anybody know why that is so? Please put it in the comment. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We are growing. We will continue to grow. Let's grow it. It's coming up slowly. Let's put it out there. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and like the channel, share the channel. Okay? Let me know how many people have seen the husband's mom and the wife's mom living together with the husband and the wife. It is not easily done in Africa, right? Mostly it's the mom of the wife that resides with the couple. Our relationship in Africa determines how you treat other people anywhere in the world, anywhere, no matter who, no matter young, old, sick, our upbringing makes us that soft. Sometimes there are times we see, not just me, I know it is happening to most of my brothers and sisters. Sometimes you see a white, maybe they need help, you want to help, but you hesitate because that person might not want a black to touch them, but we are always willing to help. It's because of how we grew up, you know. But that relationship helps a lot to bind a family, which extends to any human being you come across in the world, no matter where. So that excuse that that person had a horrible upbringing, nobody might be existing in Africa. Guys, if you know any family that is living together, your dad's mom, your mom's mom, your dad and your mom living together as a family, let me know. Because I want to know really why it is almost always, the mother of the wife that comes to stay with the family. That's it for today. We'll see us next week. I wanted to go out actually. The whole of the week I have been watching. Every morning it rains. The time it is sunny, I am sleeping because I work at night. But I will find time. I am going to watch when the sun will come out in time, when I am still away. Then I will show you guys the greenery outside. There was a video I made that there were no leaves. Let me stop it there. It will be a surprise. Okay? We'll see us next week. Be nice to one another. Love your parents. Accept and obey. It helps a lot, even though it has its disadvantages. Because you let your right go sometime, someday, because you are timid. But it helps. Thank you. It gives you feeling for other people. It makes you feel the pain of another person. That's it for today. Thank you guys. If you have not subscribed, please be nice to me and subscribe. Leave a comment, share the video. We'll see us next week. Bye for now.